The rain was falling heavily outside. It hit the window glass with a loud, rhythmic sound. Tap. 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 It sounded like someone was knocking, trying to get in. But no one was there. Just the storm. Clara sat on the edge of her bed. Her room was dark, except for the small lamp on her nightstand. The light was soft and yellow. It cast long shadows on the walls. Clara did not move. She just sat there. Her hands were resting on her knees. They were cold. Very cold. She looked across the room. There, hanging in the open closet, was her wedding dress. It was white. Pure white. It had delicate lace sleeves and a long train that flowed onto the floor. It was beautiful. It was expensive. It was everything a bride dreams of. But to Clara, it looked like a ghost. It looked like a mistake. In exactly 7 days, Clara was supposed to marry Liam. Liam was perfect. At least, that is what everyone said. He was tall and handsome. He had dark hair and bright, smiling eyes. He worked at a big company in the city. He drove a nice car. He bought Clara flowers every Friday. He remembered her favorite coffee order. He was kind to her parents. He was polite to her friends. Everyone loved Liam. Her mother called him the perfect son-in-law. Her best friends said she was lucky. They said, "Clara, you found a prince." But Clara knew the truth now. And the truth was not pretty. The truth was ugly. The truth was sharp, like a piece of broken glass stuck in her heart. 2 hours ago, Clara had gone to Liam's apartment. It was a modern building in the center of the city. Liam lived on the 10th floor. He had asked her to bring some documents for the wedding venue. The caterer needed the final head count. The florist needed the color choices. It was a simple task. A normal task. Clara had knocked on the door. No one answered. She used her key. Liam had given her a key months ago. He said, "This is your home too, Clara." She had smiled then. She had felt happy. Now, that memory felt like a joke. She walked into the apartment. It was quiet. The air smelled like Liam's cologne. It was a fresh, clean scent. Usually, this smell made Clara feel safe. Today, it made her feel sick. "Liam," she called out. There was no answer. But she heard water running. He was in the shower. Clara walked into the living room. She placed the envelope with the documents on the coffee table. As she turned to leave, she saw something. Liam's phone was lying on the table. It was face up. The screen was black. Clara did not want to look. She really did not. She respected privacy. She trusted Liam. Or at least, she thought she did. But then, the phone buzzed. It was a short, sharp vibration. The screen lit up. A name appeared on the screen. Maya. Clara froze. Maya was her best friend. They had known each other since they were 5 years old. They went to the same school. They shared their first secrets. They cried together when their pets died. Maya was supposed to be the maid of honor at the wedding. She was supposed to stand next to Clara. She was supposed to hold the bouquet. But the message preview on the screen was not friendly. It was not about wedding plans. It was not about dresses or cakes. The message read, "I can't wait to see you tonight. I miss your touch." Clara stared at the words. She read them once. Then twice. Then a third time. Her brain tried to make sense of them. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe Maya sent it to the wrong person. Maybe it was a joke. But deep down, Clara knew. A cold feeling started in her stomach. It spread to her chest. It made her hands tremble. She looked at the bathroom door. The water was still running. Liam was singing softly. He sounded happy. He sounded carefree. Clara reached out. Her hand shook. She picked up the phone. It was warm. She knew the passcode. Liam had told her once, laughing, "My password is our anniversary date. Because you are my everything." He had lied. Clara typed in the date. The phone unlocked. Her heart was pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. Thump. 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 It felt like a drum beating in her head. She opened the messaging app. She scrolled up. There were hundreds of messages. Not just from today. From last week. From last month. From 6 months ago. Clara sat down on the sofa. She began to read. Maya, did she suspect anything? Liam, no. She is clueless. She thinks I am working late. Maya, I hate pretending to be happy for her. It makes me sick. Liam, just a few more weeks. Then we will have the money. Maya, are you sure about the plan? Liam, yes. Once we are married, I will change the will. Then we divorce. I get half. You get half. We run away together. Clara stopped reading. She felt like she could not breathe. The room seemed to spin. We get half. You get half. They were not just having an affair. They were stealing from her. Liam's family had money. Old money. And Clara had inherited a large sum from her grandmother. Liam knew this. He had married her for the money. And Maya. Maya had helped him. Her best friend. Her sister in spirit. Clara scrolled further. She found photos. Her thumb hovered over the screen. She did not want to look. But she had to know. She tapped on the first photo. It was Liam and Maya. They were in a hotel room. The lights were dim. Liam was shirtless. Maya was wearing Clara's favorite red dress. The one Clara had lent her for a party last month. They were kissing. Their eyes were closed. They looked passionate. They looked in love. Clara felt a tear roll down her cheek. It was hot. It burned her skin. She swiped to the next photo. Liam and Maya in a car. Laughing. Holding hands. Another photo. Maya sleeping on Liam's shoulder. Another photo. A screenshot of a bank transfer. Liam had sent $5,000 to Maya's account last week. The betrayal was complete. It was total. It was devastating. Clara wanted to scream. She wanted to throw the phone against the wall. She wanted to run into the bathroom and slap Liam. She wanted to cry until she had no tears left. But she did not do any of those things. Instead, she sat very still. She listened to the water in the shower. It was still running. Liam was still singing. He had no idea that his world was about to end. Clara took a deep breath. She held it for 10 seconds. Then she let it out slowly. She wiped her tears. She fixed her hair. She stood up. Her legs felt weak, but she forced them to work. She placed the phone back on the coffee table. Exactly where it had been. Screen down. She picked up the envelope with the wedding documents. She walked to the front door. She opened it. She stepped out into the hallway. She closed the door softly behind her. Click. She walked to the elevator. She pressed the button. She waited. When the doors opened, she stepped inside. She looked at her reflection in the metal walls. Her eyes were red. Her face was pale. But her expression was calm. Empty. She went down to the lobby. She walked out into the rain. The cold water hit her face. It felt good. It woke her up. She walked to her car. She got in. She locked the doors. She sat there for a long time, watching the rain fall. Most women would call their mother. Most women would call a lawyer. Most women would cancel the wedding immediately. But Clara was not most women. Clara was quiet. Clara was smart. Clara was patient. She started her car. The engine roared to life. She drove home. She did not cry during the drive. She did not listen to sad music. She listened to silence. When she got home, she went to her bedroom. She looked at the wedding dress again. "You are not a symbol of love," she whispered to the dress. "You are a costume. And I am done playing the part." She sat on the bed. She opened her laptop. The screen glowed in the dark room. She did not search for wedding planners. She did not search for divorce lawyers. Not yet. She typed 2 words into the search bar: private investigator. She clicked on the first result. It was a man named David Ross. His website was simple. Black and white. Professional. It said, "We find the truth. No matter how hidden." Clara clicked on the contact form. Her fingers moved quickly over the keyboard. Name, Clara Vane. Subject, urgent investigation. Message, I need proof. Discreet. Fast. I suspect my fiancé and my best friend. I need evidence of their affair and their financial fraud. I need everything. Photos. Videos. Bank records. I don't care about the cost. I just care about the truth. She hit send. Then, she closed the laptop. She lay down on the bed. She stared at the ceiling. The rain continued to fall outside. Tap. 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 Clara closed her eyes. She did not sleep. She planned. She thought about Liam's smile. It was fake. She thought about Maya's hugs. They were lies. She thought about the wedding guests. Her aunt. Her uncle. Her cousins. Her colleagues. Hundreds of people. They would all be there. They would all watch. A slow, cold smile spread across Clara's face. It was not a happy smile. It was a dangerous smile. "If you want a show," Clara whispered to the empty room, "I will give you a show. But it will not be the one you expect." She rolled over and pulled the blanket up to her chin. For the first time in months, she felt awake. Really awake. The fog of love was gone. The blindness was gone. All that remained was clarity. And anger. The next morning, Clara woke up early. The sun was shining. The birds were singing. It was a beautiful day. She made coffee. She drank it black. No sugar. No milk. Just bitter and strong. Her phone rang. It was Liam. Clara looked at the screen. His name flashed. My love. She let it ring 3 times. Then she answered. Her voice was smooth. Calm. Normal. Good morning, Liam, she said. Good morning, baby. Liam's voice was cheerful. Did you drop off the papers? Yes, Clara said. Everything is set. Great. I can't wait to see you tonight. I have a surprise for you. Clara's heart did not skip a beat. It did not race. It stayed steady. Cold. I can't wait either, she lied. Love you, Liam said. Love you too, Clara said. She hung up. She looked at the phone. She felt nothing. No warmth. No joy. Just a hollow space where her heart used to be. She put the phone down. She walked to the window. She looked out at the street. People were walking. Cars were driving. Life was going on. But for Clara, life had changed. The game had begun. And she intended to win. She picked up her notebook. She wrote down a list. Hire private investigator. Hire independent photographer. Secure financial records. Plan the event. She underlined the last point. Plan the event. It was not just a wedding anymore. It was a stage. And Clara was the director. She closed the notebook. She took a sip of her coffee. It was still hot. Outside, the clouds began to gather again. The sky turned gray. Another storm was coming. Clara smiled. She liked storms. They washed everything clean.